Kupuna Wiki radio show. This month we are talking with active kupunas who are giving back to their community. And in studio we have Kathy Wyatt, who is the founder and president of Hale, Hau'oli, Hawaii. Kupuna Wiki is Hawaii's senior resource. We talk to the best local professionals in the state regarding topics such as real estate, senior housing, estate planning, finance, and health, so that our kupuna families can find the best resources in the midst of a life transition. We strive to make sure our seniors are informed and supported every step of the way. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Brandon Lau.
And I'm Andrew Leon,
your host for the Kupuna Wiki radio show.
If you missed any of our shows on air, the Kupuna Wiki radio show is available as a podcast and can be found on both Spotify and Apple for your listening pleasure. Our title sponsor for today is Cheney Brooks Choice Advisors, providing you with the best real estate information so you can make the most informed decisions. As they like to say, real estate is about choice. To contact them, call 808-753-9033.
And now we have our real estate tip of the week, brought to you by Cheney Brooks Choice Advisors.
Your decisions about a home loan can translate into thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. Request quotes from lenders and follow these tips to get the best deal on a mortgage. Number 1, stay confident and ask for clarification of items you don't understand. Number 2, ask to see different options for down payments and the terms of the loan. Number 3, interest rates are critical to you getting the lowest possible mortgage payment. The interest rate you get is partially based on your credit score, but know that interest rates can change on a daily basis. You have the power to decide whether to lock in the current rate at the time you submit your application or take a chance that it might float down during the processing period. And number 4, carefully analyze disclosures and estimated costs provided by the lender.
For more information on financing for your next purchase, contact Cheney Brooks Choice Advisors at 753-9033. Again, today in studio, we have the pleasure of speaking with Kathy Wyatt. She is the founder and president of Hale, Hau'oli, Hawaii, which is a senior daycare. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming back on the show.
My pleasure.
Now, Kathy, I know you have been helping kupuna for many years now, and congratulations on your senior daycare just thriving. It's so good to see. And you started doing different seminars and workshops to help caregivers. So you have a full plate.
It's a fun plate, though.
It's a fun plate. Well, tell us, Kathy, how did you get started in this phase of your life where you're just giving everything back to the community?
I have been so blessed, especially this year because of all the mess, more so than a lot of people that I've been talking to. I've been in long-term care for more years than you've been around.
More than 20.
Yes, actually. Okay, and I loved working with the kupuna, and I started in long-term care because of my folks.
Okay.
They were concerned about, they had never wanted to be in a nursing home. And I was never going to let them be in a nursing home unless I was there in charge.
Right.
But unfortunately, even being in charge left a lot to be desired because people have to want to do what they should do and they don't. So anyway, so I was in long-term care. I was the director of nursing and I was administrator at a facility and I was the assisted living. And so many people were not needed. They didn't need to be warehoused. They needed to be able to do more than they were allowed to do it at the nursing homes. So I was introduced to adult daycare after I came to Hawaii in 2012.
Okay.
And it was such a great idea. And I said, that would be so much fun to be able to help seniors keep active and
Right.
and have fun and be safe. And still live at home in the communities because the culture in Hawaii is keep mom and dad home.
Right.
So I did some research and I had a colleague that had worked in adult daycare and so she guided me through the process of starting. And ever since then, it's been a wonderful ride. I'm just having too much fun.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Now, so did you start Hale, Hau'oli, Hawaii around 2012, 2013?
No, it was 2015 is when I opened.
Okay.
I started in 2014 organizing
So you
it.
can get it started.
Yeah.
And where are you currently located right now?
We're on Ka'ahumanu Street in Aiea in the Mary Savio Medical Plaza.
Okay. And then you opened up an additional location recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's at St. Timothy's Episcopal Church on Moanalua Road, next to the old drive-in. You know,
Yeah, the cab driver.
Yeah.
That's great. So, I think your concept is great because I do think that a lot of families do want to take care of their parents if they can. But, during the day everybody works and they have active schedules. So to have someone who can watch over them and keep them active and engaged and social, I mean, that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
So tell us, what's it like a day in the life of somebody who's at your daycare?
Well, we have people coming in as early as 6 a.m. because their family works downtown, so they come in early. They come in and watch the morning news or have their breakfast and whatever until the whole group gets there.
Right.
And then they start, the first thing they do is they have a warm-up and then chair exercises. And then sing-alongs. Right now we're doing Christmas carols, of course. And arts and crafts. And they have a morning break. And then we have a nice lunch. In the afternoon, there's a rest period. And we either watch Korean soap operas or we watch Hallmark movies. And then after the break, then they get back to doing doing activities. Yeah. And more exercise in the afternoon because we want to keep them.
So it sounds like they're very busy.
All day.
I mean, they have this schedule.
Yeah.
It's funny. They sound busier than my kids who are in school. My son comes up to me and it's 1 o'clock and he's done. I said, "What do you have to do?" Nothing. So I mean, there's people who are very active and they're at your location, right?
And the good thing is they go home tired, so they get a good night's sleep.
Right.
And family can relax too.
Yeah. Now, do they come like every day, or how does the schedule typically work?
We're open 7 days a week.
Okay.
Some of them come every day. Some of them come 2 or 3 days a week. Some of them come just on weekends. So we have a pretty flexible arrangement.
So you have to orchestrate your staff to be available basically around the clock. I mean, during the day.
7 days a week.
7 days a week.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
But I have angels for staff, and they take care of business.
That's great. So you have staff there. They're always, supervising the activities. Do they have medical backgrounds in case something happens, or how does that work if there's some kind of emergency?
Well, I'm a nurse.
Okay.
And then my one of my lead activities. Well, actually, she's the client care coordinator, I think, is her title. I can't remember what I told her.
Right.
She's an LPN. Actually,
Okay.
she was a nurse in the Philippines, her RN, but she's an LPN here. And then I have, I have a CNA school as well, so 3 or 4 of my folks have gone through the CNA school.
You have a CNA school?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're all trained, and I work with them on dealing with dementia, because that can change every day too. So
Right.
they're just a great group of folks that take care of them.
And how did you find time to do a CNA school? And where does that take place? Is that in your same office?
One of my classes was, I'm leasing a classroom, and how did I find time to do that? Because I'm blessed, I have a wonderful manager that takes care of the business when I'm doing that. But it's usually in the evenings, and I'm going to be doing that virtually starting in January again.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. So,
It's so key to have good people working with you.
yes.
Right.
Very.
Now going back to you, Kathy, so are you doing this as a secondary profession or is just a retirement gig? And how do you stay motivated to want to continue to grow and expand the service?
Well, retirement is not in my vocabulary. Okay. So it sort of morphed, Brandon. And when I first started it, I was thinking this is going to be a lot of fun and a great thing to do and giving back to the community. But it has just morphed into something that's just me,
Right.
And I have no plans on retiring. I have talked to my attorney about succession of the business in case they can't prop me up in the corner anymore. But it's just a fun and stimulating and gratifying, and I just love it. So Be Run incorporates her caregiving of her father, who has end-stage dementia, with the things that she's trying to teach the caregivers. Dr. Warren Wong spoke.
Okay.
About making the end years happier for dementia folks. Margaret, I'm sorry, I just lost her last name. Margaret Perkinson from UH spoke about developing a relationship between home care professional home care people and the family caregivers, so they can communicate and make sure that mom and dad are getting everything the family wants them to have.
Right.
That was a really good one.
Yeah.
Rulon Adamczyk, elder law attorneys, talked about all the things that people need to prepare for their family, their kupuna that are, get ahead of the game until the last minute to get things taken care of.
Right.
Rick Tabor talks about taking care of yourself as a caregiver. He does a lot of mindfulness. I'm not sure how to describe that, but he's has a lot of experience in psychological stuff.
Right. I mean, caring for yourself and having that balance
Yeah.
while you're caring for everyone.
Yeah, because so many caregivers burn out,
Oh, yeah.
and a lot of caregivers pass before the people they're caring for. So I just had an example of a colleague that was on a board with me that passed her. She retired last year to take care of her father, and she just passed.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, it tore me up. But let's see, who else we had? We had Cynthia Arnold talked about decluttering for the holidays,
Right.
because a lot of seniors hoard, and even help get rid of stuff gently.
I like to say they collect. They're very good collectors.
Yes, I collect wonderful stuff. Oh, and by the way, you're on Santa's bad list because you put me as an active kupuna, so I'm just. But I've had some wonderful. I'm trying to think. I want to make sure I cover everybody that spoke for me. Rick and Pokii have been with me all along. Rulon Adamczyk has done several of my workshops, and I guess Margaret and Lauren and Cynthia were new to the group, but they've all been wonderful speakers, and I've gotten wonderful evaluations from the participants.